I will try to discuss about P versus NP problem. Actually, this problem is of critical importance, not only because of the scientific point of view, but also possible solutions or possible proposals about solutions can yield innovations in cryptology, in several branches of technology. Even I presume the solution of this problem is more or less directly related to the solutions of the other important mathematical problems. Actually, I have a proposal in my mind. Of course, it needs to be innovated and well expressed. It is not well expressed form in the current situation. But I would like to share my proposal in this speech. First of all, what is the problem? Of course, the problem is very complicated and it is not easy to explain in detail. Maybe Dr. Avi Wigderson, he has explained this problem in detail very specifically and very intelligently. I strongly suggest his speech to be reviewed before dealing with the problem. But I can summarize according to my understanding and with a small example. Of course, the examples are extended. There are different examples to express the situation, but I have chosen only one portion of the example. If you multiply two big numbers, your computer give the results. If the numbers are very big, the computer can think for a longer period. But if it is strong enough, and if the number is reasonable, although it is very big, you attain the result. However, the reverse of the operation, named factoring, if you have a very big number and if you apply factoring process, if the number is enough big, you cannot get the result, or you wait very long period if the rakam is a little bit smaller. So why? This is the main question. Why this is so? In one direction, everything is straightforward, but in the other direction, the situation is much more complicated. And this is, of course, a very complicated situation. It is indirectly related to several other branches, and expression of the problem is not so simple, I know, but from this expression, I will try to establish my proposal. I am a physicist and I have given the course of statistical mechanics for several times. And in statistical mechanics, there is a very famous, well-known formula of Boltzmann. Boltzmann proposed this formula, and it is K ln omega. I have witnessed several things about this formula, but one of the interesting thing is the basis is E, number E, and number E is 2 point something, you know. So in this formula, it tells mainly, and the main postulate of the statistical mechanics is nothing but in equilibrium, any system is equally likely to be in any one of its accessible states. So we have a tendency to the equilibrium, and in the equilibrium, any system is equally likely to be in any one of its accessible states. So this probabilistic explanation of the movements of the operation in one direction, it is in small scale and large scale. There are some other explanations. I don't want to spoil and go other branches, but the problem is related to the direction. So in physics, we have certain directions. Certain directions are more favorable. Why certain directions are more favorable? I establish analogy to mathematics. This analogy is related to the structure of the space in the physical world. So we are in a three-dimensional space, but if you go to the smaller scales, of course, according to the string theory and according to some other approach, the number of dimensions can be much more. From quantum mechanics, we are aware of the fact that, for example, in Hilbert space, there are n dimensions, and these n dimensions are in principle perpendicular to each other. It is mathematically well expressed. Of course, we cannot imagine because we are in a three-dimensional world. But whatever it is, the dimension, number of dimension and the structure of the space is very important. So the structure of the space causes the direction of the event. In the physical world, this is the situation. We can extend the ideas. Gravitation, for example, in the least action, the expression of Fermat is the light travels between 2 points in such a way that the time interval is minimized. So this expression is also giving us an information about the direction of the event. So all things are related to the structure of the space. Now, if you turn back for the P versus NP problem, what I feel about this problem, of course, I cannot express it in details in the mathematical form. The proof in the mathematics is much more complicated. I don't have my proof in my hand. I have still been working, but the feeling and the analogy between mathematics and physics is in such a way that in the mathematics there are some certain space, and in some space the structure enables the direction of event to take place in a more favorable way. Actually, this is the way of multiplication in some case. If you reverse the operation, at that time, in this form of the space, the reverse of the operation is very hard. In the physics, for example, as long as there is no external energy, you cannot decrease the entropy in the normal circumstance. So my proposal, I will continue to express my ideas, but at the beginning, my proposal for P versus NP problem is to establish analogy between physical space and mathematical space. And why? Because the direction of the events in one direction more favorable in physics is related to the structure of the space. And the same fashion in mathematics, the operation, mathematical operation, takes place in one direction in a more favorable manner. That is just because the space of the mathematics, and if we can feel the structure of this space in mathematics, we will close the precise solution of the P versus NP problem. I will try to continue my ideas on this topic in a much more explanatory way, I hope, inshallah. Thank you.